Going back to your family, yeah, you said obviously, how your family, like background, how by default, how they expected you to be, like to by now to be married and have
Yeah.
kids and be working at a particular job. Like, did you ever go through like a certain period with your family where they can't maybe they kind of like found it difficult to accept that nah, you don't want to do that thing. You want to do something completely different.
Do you know what? I don't think they've ever found it difficult to accept. I think there was a time maybe where they didn't really understand, especially my nan, God bless her, before she passed.
God bless her soul.
She didn't really understand what the hell I was doing. I brought her one day. I brought her a copy of the Rap on Demand magazine that I'd worked with Big Nasty on,
Yeah.
and she had no idea what it was, but she was just so happy because she saw that I was happy. So I think it didn't really matter because she'd seen me struggle growing up. It didn't really matter what I was doing as long as I was happy. Yeah. But for some other members of my family, yeah, they couldn't really quite understand what I was doing, why I didn't want to kind of settle, and why I didn't want a husband and have children or whatever. But never in a way where it was difficult or I felt ashamed. I never felt like I've always been strong anyway.
Yeah.
I like what I like. I do what I do. Do you know what I mean? They know that about me.
Yeah. We live in a world of like sometimes temptation in it. The key word is temptation in it, especially for beautiful, sexy women like you guys, yeah. I'm just honest, innit? I'm just being honest, you get me, yeah? And basically what I'm trying to say about temptation, yeah, like on social media, when you guys put yourselves out there, yeah, this is like the reality, innit? Sometimes certain people might approach you, you got what I'm trying to say, like to do certain things for money and all of these things. Again, these conversations I feel like they're important, you get me, especially for the young girls, coming up and all of these things. And obviously speaking to someone like you with your mindset, how you carry yourself, like in terms of like advice, in terms of like these young girls once again coming up who might be tempted because they look a certain way or whatnot, like for you, like what keeps you like on a straight, obviously it's a two-part question, isn't it? Like what advice would you give some of these young girls, and for you personally, like what keeps you on this like straight and narrow in terms of like respecting yourself, your image, and the way you carry yourself in general? Because I know for a fact if you wanted to go the other way, once again keeping it real, you could have done probably like these other things like OnlyFans and all of these things that other women do. You got to say
to me, and I'm like, I'd
now
rather cut crack, bruv. Sorry.
just in general, or even not just even OnlyFans, all of these other things. Because once again, as a man, I understand like the world that we're living in. Like sex sells, for certain women. You get me? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, but for you, for the first part of it is what keeps you like, like in terms of like respecting yourself, your image, and not getting tempted in terms of like doing all of these crazy things, sexualized things for money, and all of these crazy shit.
I think generally, like when it comes to sex, I feel like it should be between you and your partner. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel comfortable doing all that. I ain't got the energy for it. I ain't got the time. I don't really care for it, and I don't really want men looking at me like that. I would prefer like compliments like, yeah, you're fucking stunning, but I would much prefer if someone says to me, do you know what, your energy is amazing. That is more of a compliment to me. So yeah, it doesn't interest me to do that, and I think I don't really need to do that.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
Because like I said as well, like I said, there's so much temptation out there. Young girls who they don't really know themselves that much to a certain point to be able to reject all of these temptations for money and whatnot. Like, what advice, would you have for them kind of like, young girls once again? Because with this thing, you just never know who's listening and who's watching.
I would just say, if it's something that you really want to do, then that's up to you. But I think if it's something that you do out of desperation or you want quick money, like it's going to come back and bite you in the ass, so it's not worth it. And also respect and classiness, it'll take you to better places. So
yeah, because like on a quick one as well, I always say like, you know, some of these girls, yeah, they've got brothers, they've got dads,
Yeah.
and some of these parents, they've got kids. And what I always say, like, again, I'm not speaking as an angel. I'm far from that. But
Yeah.
again, just looking at the bigger picture, you
Yeah.
get me, like,
Say that again.
in years to come,
Say that
yeah,
again.
you get me, like, in years to come, yeah, basically, like, I can see, you know, like these parents that obviously they've got the young kids, but they're doing the most on social media.
Yeah.
And I always say, like, these kids are gonna grow up one day, and then they're gonna, you know, see all of this shit, like, oh, my mom used to do all of these things, and it's like, cool, people can be free to do whatever they've got to do with their bodies, but sometimes I just feel like these conversations and to just try to make people see like a different aspect of life, I just think to myself, it's like, yeah, it's a bit mad, but people usually say it's my body, I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do with my body, you get me?
Yeah, and I think, you know what, women definitely, they have the right to do that. They have the right to do that. And you know what, sex sells, prostitution's been around for years. Do you know what I mean? It's always going to be there. People are always going to do it, but yeah, just not for me. And I just think, just don't do it out of desperation or because you see another OnlyFans model making 60k a year, mate. You're probably just gonna make £6 a month, babe. That's the reality of it. Like,
That's crazy.
So, yeah, there are other ways. Just find your passions, find your creativity, go inside yourself and find what you're good at and use your talents for that. If you do find out that it's selling sex, then good luck to you.
Crazy.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
Vlogging, you vlog.
Yeah,
Vlogger?
blogger. I started out
I
vlogging.
usually get this word wrong. Vlogging or vlogger? How do you pronounce it right?
Vlog.
Vlog.
But I'm more of a blog.
You see, blog, vlog.
There's a blogger.
What a tongue
and there's a
twister.
vlogger.
Yeah, vlogger is more like YouTube, really, isn't it?
Okay.
But
So what are you then, darling? What are you?
well, I've been a blogger for like 8 years.
Okay.
So my website, SammiSwinton.com.
Yeah.
Just documenting everything throughout my time since 2016.
Oh shit.
Entering the music industry, different interviews, different loads of different stuff, because my interests have changed throughout the years. But now I've kind of pushed it to the side for a minute because I'm just focusing on social media and working with brands.
Yeah. You see people like vlogging. Is it like another form? Because I've never really kind of understood it like that. Is it kind of another form of like your personal diary, or no? It's just like another form of being a content creator, and you just do different things. Do you get where I'm coming from? How would you describe it?
I think vlogging is more like a diary of your life.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Vlogging is more like a diary of, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Anyone can create
but then vlogging
content.
is like, it's content, or it could be the other way around, really. Because some people vlog for content.
Yeah, but I think
And
vlog
then-
is more of a personal thing. Even if you're doing like an unboxing video of any product, if you're in it and you're talking, that makes it personal. Whereas it's much different if it's just a video with no sound and it's showing you a product. That's not personal. It's not a vlog. You're just being shown a product. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make
You
sense?
don't know more about it than me. So.
Do you know what? I would hope I've got some knowledge after all these years.
Yeah. Like people always talk about this thing of like equality, innit? Like women and men.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever wish, this is gonna sound a bit mad, but sometimes I ask random mad questions.
I love a mad question.
Like, do you ever wish like you was born a man rather than a woman?
No.
Okay. And just in general, in terms of like this equality thing or whatever, yeah, what are your thoughts on it just in general? Because I honestly believe like God made a man and a woman for a reason.
Yeah.
First and foremost, we will never be equal because a man and a woman are completely different. What a man brings on the table, what a woman brings on the table to a certain degree, completely different things. Like, what are your thoughts just in general of that? Like, equality, this thing. Especially nowadays. Yeah, especially nowadays, like with women who can now obviously make peas like men, all of these things. It's like, I'm starting to feel like there's like a blurred line that comes in between like who's more equal, like where's the equality balance between a man and a woman. You get what I'm from, like what are your thoughts?
It's a society thing, but I feel like in terms of like a relationship, man, woman, woman, man, whatever, you come together, you'll naturally work things out. You will balance things. Do you get what I'm saying? That's how you make it equal. It's not like this person's pay is up here, this person's pay is down there, so we're not equal. This person's pay might be up here and this person's pay is down here, but this person has emotional maturity and this person doesn't.
So there has
do you
to be a
know?
correlation of some sort.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
you need to come together to kind of work that out.
I don't know, like, to be honest, the whole, I don't know, like the pay gap and stuff like that, it still is very much an issue, but I think it affects more like higher paid jobs.
Facts.
Like,
Facts.
you're working in retail in like Marks and Spencer's, doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, you're both getting 13-15 an hour. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
And also for me, I just feel like social media obviously is giving everyone a voice, innit? But I just feel like these relationships, man, woman, I feel like there's so many of them from the UK, different people in the US. I feel like sometimes I just get a little bit irritated and confused. And confused because I'm thinking once again, like, who's right and who's wrong? Because like I said, women have their say, men have their say. And sometimes I think to myself, who the fuck is right? Because do you not think like sometimes people have got to a point where people, because so many people are saying all of these things, like all of these opinions, whatever. Do you not think like people have kind of like basically got to a point where they have basically complicated, like in terms of like a simple relationship between a man and a woman, in terms of like these things, a man is this, a woman is that.
There's so much.
You can say, I feel like people are just complicated. Yeah, relationships, man. Because
you know what winds me up is when people like they post videos and it's like, it's basically an essay of what their man needs to be, and I'm like, you look, and the things they're listing, like, you're not even listing real qualities. Do you know what I mean? It just gets on my nerves. But I think you have to use your discernment, because everything that you see is opinions, it's not facts. And a lot of the time, these people are sitting behind a computer single. They haven't even had a real relationship.
Crazy,
so
innit?
I don't know what they're talking about.
Or even some of them people, some little kids in secondary school. Or
Exactly.
Just talking shit.
You have no wisdom in love.
Is when you're seeing, like, say, 23-year-old girls.
Yeah, I just think, babe, you need to just grow some more.
And they come along and they're like, yeah, I want a 6-foot man. He needs to be earning this. He needs to have a Range Rover. He needs to have this. Like, what the hell is going through? How did your parents, what did your parents teach you, kind of thing? And the thing is, behind that, funny enough, is that their parents probably taught them to not be like that. But because they found this found fame behind the camera and being on the internet, quick money, I can say whatever I want. So now I want a man that's earning this much. I want a man that's earning 6 figures and 7 figures or whatever.
This is why social media can be dangerous.
It's not real. You're never that man is not gonna be there for you. Like that. You may think he's gonna be there for you.
No,
but
he'll be there on a Friday night and he'll be gone.
Money's not everything either.
Exactly.
It's not. It's really not.
But this is what society. We go back to society. It's the way society's made these things to be. Yeah, and even in terms of, like, say, social media, it's right in front of, we are on social media right now. Yeah, but we're talking about real stuff. And we're not being biased, or we're not being, like that. So it's just the realness out here, man.
Yeah, the young girls, they can be easily influenced. I remember being like a 20. God, that sounds so old. Like a 20-year-old girl, and just like, the conversations I used to have with my friends about, oh my God, he's got to have this, and oh my God, did you see his trainers? And they're the wrong things to be looking at when you're looking for a
trainers.
Partner.
No.
You ain't got fresh white Air Force Ones on. I ain't looking at you.
Absolutely crazy.
It was a horrible time for me, like, looking back now.
Yeah, but obviously, like
so
you said,
rude.
you're young, innit?
So
we all go
rude.
through phases when you're young, you're naive, and you get me.
Yeah.
Like, you see that going back a little bit when you were younger,
Yeah.
Like, slowly taking you guys back a little bit, Like, what did you want to be when you was young? Like, you know that all of us sometimes when we're young.
I wanted to be a lawyer.
Talk to me, man. What happened to that?
Be a lawyer.
What happened then?
Do you know what happened?
What?
So,
You started dating criminals?
No.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I mean, that
It's reality.
might have some factual information to it, but we're not going there.
You know what I'm say? No, I'm joking. But yeah, what happened?
So when
then?
I left, I did my GCSEs, and I wanted to go to City and Islington College, the one at Angel.
Yeah, Angel.
To study law, but I missed out on half a GCSE, RE. Yeah, RE. So I missed out on half a GCSE, so I couldn't study that in college. So I went on to do e-media. But then after I'd done the e-media course, I went and done a business apprenticeship, and I ended up working in a solicitor's. So that was my route in.
Yeah, into law.
To go there, and I was there for like 2 years, and my employer at the time, she couldn't put me on. I think it was like a caseworker assistant type course, because I was already doing casework assistant. I was going to the courts, I was taking minutes, taking the notes, everything that needed to be done, I was doing it. So then I was kind of like, I need to make a bit more money, so I left there, and that's where that dream kind of finished.
Quick question, yeah. Wasn't that sector making you like good money? Wasn't you
No,
making
not
good
at
money?
that time, because I was on an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
So I was only getting like £140 a week.
Okay, couldn't you like maybe get another like job on the side to kind of like
No, I was
support?
working there full time.
Oh, full time. Okay. Yeah, that's.
I was working there full time, and I had 1 day a week where I would go to college to do the coursework and that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And I literally, I'd just got my first flat, so I was like 18, and I had all these bills to pay.
One of them.
And
ones.
£140 a week was not cutting it.
It's not getting you too far, to be fair.
That to be realistic.
So moving on, yeah. Like, didn't you like try to maybe like get join another law firm that pays a bit more money, or get obviously the same?
No, I don't know. I just kind of just left it.
Interesting.
But it was like at that time.
Yeah.
Even though like law was the thing that I wanted to go into, music had been with me. Like that was in me. I was the girl that was sitting there downloading everything on LimeWire, giving my computer aids, like for all the mandem on the estate.
LimeWire.
Like,
oh my god.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So I was consistently like, I was going to events, I was networking everywhere with DJs. So I was still doing that. I didn't realise that what my passion was, and I was working towards. It was just something I enjoyed at that time. Gradually, it's interfered and made its way to the forefront.
Yeah.
You know?
Nah, hey man. What are your thoughts on like the UK music industry just in general? Like, you know, so many people have got these interesting takes on it. Like, what are your takes on it?
I felt like for the past couple of years, it's been way too commercialised. A lot of stuff sounds the same. I don't know if that's because of my age, but I wasn't getting excited about anything. Up until recently, when there's been like another surge of grime stuff going on, which has had me excited. So I'm like, maybe things just hadn't been happening for a while that excited me, and that's fine. But in terms of like rap, I just don't feel like it's thriving as much as it had previously. Yeah, I just think it needs to come back to sort of like grassroots level. We need to see more coverage of that. I'm really liking, you know, DJ AG.
You
What
just read
he's
my
doing
mind.
is mental.
Amazing.
He's really like getting the community involved. He's brought it back down to a level which is exciting, and it's helping people come up. It's helping people get together. He's creating major networking space.
It's true.
Like, it's actually mad. We went there the other week, and I saw a couple of my mates from the industry. We met new people, and it was exciting because I discovered new artists that I'd never heard before, that I was drawn into. And this is how I know, like, it's not actually my age interfering or making me feel like I'm not interested in music, because when I'm in those spaces and I hear something that I like or something excites me, it happens. So yeah, but it was just, I think DJ AG is carrying music right now.
Absolutely. I think also the good thing about what he's doing as well is, you know, like before there was like a lot of gatekeeping, where it's like if you're not doing something that sounds similar to what's popping, whatever, people won't really pay you attention. But I think what, like you're saying, is giving so many different people an opportunity, you know, new people that might have not even had a voice on a bigger platform. It's like he's giving everybody a fair shot, basically, you get me, to. And I think, that's proper amazing, man. Like, what kind of music are you listening to at the moment? Like, because for me, I go through like vibes, you know, like periods where I listen to either like more rap, more amapiano, this and that. Like, what vibe are you know, what music are you listening to at the moment?
Right now is grime. Like, I'm back on a grime wave because of the Grime Scene Sages track that just came out.
That tune is
Honestly,
cold,
I
innit?
went mental.
Yeah.
So I've been having a...
We grew up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? If I'm like going fitness class or I'm at the gym, I like to have garage on, UK garage. I'm a garage girl. Bit of rap here and there. You know, mostly like throughout the summer is when I listen to like dance hall, bashment, stuff like that. Just goes through phases.
Yeah.